Hey guys, welcome back to Maxcast, Dawn of War Unification. Today I have another 1 vs 1 view, this time on deadly Fun Archeology. On the left side, playing the 13th Company, we have TheLaughingMax. On the right side, playing the Death Guard, we have ZZZZZZZZZZZ, going for the 4th Company. So this is one of the games I've played the other day, also against Z. The name rings a bell or two. I'm not sure if I have seen him playing Death Guard before or not. And I again randomed my faction, this time 13th Company. I mess up the build order a bit. I go more or less for the standard build order with Wolfden, 3 Iron Priests into a armory, and then two more Grey Slayers basically. And I forgot the grenade research in the beginning, which is the thing you would do after your second Grey Slayer is out. You immediately get the grenades because you have the resources for it, and the grenades are pretty much awesome. So my opponent ZZZ going for the 4th Company. He told me actually in the beginning that he goes for 4th Company, but I didn't change my build order much because of it, because what would you do if you know that there are zombies or plague bearers on the way? Not really sure. Plague bearers in the current version are a bit too strong in the iteration. They have a pretty immense slow and a pretty immense degeneration aura, both of which, at least the slow I know, will be adjusted a bit, so you actually have some time to move away. One thing I do with my Grey Slayers is I put the basically the first Grey Slayer from the HQ, I put him to the first listing post and then moved him over to build up. And those two go then in the warp gate to then drop in. And my 3rd Iron Priest I deep strike to the 2nd point I capture, and he's then the one who is about round and about doing building duty. And this is the time, as I said, in which you would go for the grenades. And now I have 2 Grey Slayer packs over here. My Wolf Lord is on the way, the cooldown on the Iron Priest is also on the way, and I go for another Grey Slayers, which you can do to have an early pressure, which is usually the thing you want to do with 13th Company. You want to pressure early, you want to deep strike your units in, your Iron Priests, and here comes the Wolf Lord as well, so a lot of deep striking in, and I'm not the best in the micro over here, I admit it, but I at least get some scavengers off. But here you see the pretty immense slow. I barely can move out, and you also see the HP tripping down quite a lot. There's no way I can get my Wolf Lord out, and these guys are also down for good. Wolf Lord killing a model, even killing 2 models, so he does pretty good. My Iron Priest 1 goes down, 1 moves away. You see the reduced movement speed they have received a patch or 2 ago, which is justified, so they cannot sprint that much out of the way. Yeah, but these guys get reinforced, are in the vicinity of a listing post, which increases their health regeneration. I try to get a flamer because I think this could be an idea against them, but not really. What would have helped me, of course, would be some grenades to knock these guys back, do some area damage and whatnot. Yeah, the Wolf Lord will be picked up completely. I get the middle at least. I have George, the Lonely Train Slayer, still out and about capturing. And yeah, what do I go for? I get another Grey Slayer, and I think, yeah, tier 2 is already on the way. Tier 2 is no way near for my opponent because he's missing the Gift of Repository as well as some resources for it. But yeah, all my Grey Slayers go down over here. So I only have like 2 Grey Slayers now. I have George. Okay, I have 3, and they run into my grenade, what should I call it, minefield, and there comes a big issue. This is the Herald of Nurgle over here. It's very tanky, but there are a lot of damage to these plague bearers from this point, and yeah, missed micro over here. Tier 2 is almost done, getting the grenades finally, but this is a position where normally Z could push in really hard. And yeah, could basically win. Now I have the grenades, I can use them. Do I use them? Not yet. I have guys over here looking at this point because it is now infiltrated in tier 2, and he is disengaging. Yes, he has a lot of injured troops, but yeah, I get another Grey Slayer, so I can stabilize with just more Grey Slayers over here. I get now the Plasma Pistol Wargi upgrade, getting my pack leaders over here, so I soon have a fierce force with plasma pistols, and he is standing over here eating basically the the minefield before he goes away, also killing my Iron Priest in the process. So I need to get more and more Iron Priests again, because without Iron Priest there's no scavenge, there's no booby trap points, no economy basically. So I'm playing on very low economy all this time with only 1 Hall of Knowledge. Usually you want to have about 2 by now, up to 3 even, but this is because I need to invest so much in my Grey Slayers to survive the onslaught. So I'm getting now a booby trap point. I think I complete, no, I do not forget, just as I say. So these points, they get you your money back very quickly. They cost you only 10 requisition and 10 power, I think, and give you 1 requisition, 1 power. So it's in about 2 minutes you have your money back, as well as having basically a point that the opponent cannot just simply capture, and doing some damage if you have a melee focused opponent. So here I'm not really sure, should I go in, should I not go in, because yeah, this is a very dicey position. If I move in here piecemeal, they will probably kill me very easily. I see now the deep strike in, I'm being like, oh no no no, and these are some Nurglings now. I thought it were glitchlings. He's not on the way to tier 2, missing some power, investing a whole lot in his tier 1.5. Over here having now the booby trap point, so if he runs in he will get a lot of damage dealt to him. My third or second Iron Priest now. I think I deep striked him over here with the idea to scavenge a bit over here, which I probably do. Now 3 squads over here. Do I get some? Yeah, 2 of them. I give some plasma guns as well, so that I have some more punching power against those plague bearers. They are not heavy infantry per se, but the plasma guns overall deal more damage than your standard bolter against pretty much all targets. Getting also now a Rhino. Rhino also can you support with smoke launchers, basically smoke grenades, as well as some basically fire from his storm bolter over here. Yeah, so I'm not getting some scavenge. My Iron Priest almost dying, but yeah, I need to micro them out of the way, but I'm busy microing over here, so you see some issues, also a bit of issue in terms of my research management. But I think overall this is okay. Getting also now cryo gun turret over here, because I know he's here. I don't see it, but I see it a bit. I do not want to go to his base, because then I can get flanked. So I want to prioritize this position over here. It goes for a debuff over here. Not sure what this debuff is. Maybe some increased damage taken, but if you do not capitalize on it, I poke a bit to get an reaction from him, killing a lot of Nurglings on the way. Cryogun turret is here, getting some grenades, smoke grenades, not moving in the Rhino, which is bad, but I have my Wolves of Fenris now over here. They come in, they use their morale breaking shout, which of course doesn't do a whole lot over here. But yeah, he moves in, kills almost a squad of mine because I'm not microing it properly, but the Wolves, they get a lot of damage dealt to them, but they're also dealing a lot of damage, and most importantly keeping my Grey Slayers away from these pesky plague bearers. So there are a lot of dead Nurgle units over here, and this is now a pretty big advantage over here. I'm not like pushing too hard over here. I'm slowly but surely plan to move along, capturing this point with the most injured squad. Was one poor slave over here getting eaten by my wolves, and now I have my wolves and 2 Grey Slayer packs. One get some melter guns to be able to let's see, I get both melter guns to be able to kill this listening post. But yeah, the wolves now get distracted by these Nurgle cultists and get also shot by this turret, and notice this turret way too late and get a lot of damage dealt to them. Their morale is broken, and they of course also will get a lot of damage from these plague bearers because of their AoE dealing to basically every model, and if they are very low on HP already, they basically die. I think I lost one Iron Priest over here, but I have a Wolf Den. A Wolf Den for regeneration purposes, also for some income. I need some stable income, not from scavengers over here. The income with 81 and 15, and he has 104 and 30. No tier 2 on the way. A lot of power float because he's still investing. I think he has 3 generators is one too much for what he's doing. The turret in the base is never a good idea, just to give some tips over here. A defensive turret on this map is located over here. Or over here, so having the covering 2 turrets, 2 listening posts over here. Now I remember that I have a rhino and just sitting here, and yeah, killing everything that is getting close to me. And yeah, this is basically game. Getting now my Iron Priest back in. I think at some point I get also some long fangs over here to have a split push going on. And yeah, only having 2 squads over here, 2 units in a squad is not enough against this firepower. Getting some breachers as well, but this is the feared 13th company position with some smoke launchers and whatnot. Getting some economy upgrades. I want to get the Wolf Priest because he is just as good. I also want to I should get some bionics and stuff. I'm not sure if I get it. Getting now a Hall of Knowledge because I can, and it is not by accident that I have put it over here. So I have some building close to me where I can put my units, and they regenerate a lot faster when they are near one of their buildings. So having some buildings spread around the map may look like bad manner or some free stuff to take for the opponent, but it is also giving you some, getting Wolf Den for the regeneration here. To have some regeneration and stability, basically. Basically, Wolf Den, for example, is pretty cheap for what it provides you. Some more unit building capabilities also never really hurt. Wolf Den for you wanting to know gives you 5 requisition. Hall of Knowledge gives you 10 requisition, 5 power. And yeah. Killing this listen post now as well. Getting this listen post built up, captured. Yeah, and this is more or less game. There's, I think, one last push in his mind, but yeah, the issue, I think, for the most part was the 3rd generator, which limits you in terms of your tier 2 progress. If you would have not getting the 3rd generator, I think this was the 3rd generator, he could have gotten tier 2 at some point and then used his power in some vehicles. Even the 4th company has some vehicles. I think the Desecrator, is it called Desecrator? And the bot flies also. Getting another turret because I am in the lead and there's no need for me to push to victory. I know that there's a turret, and I know that the turrets for the 13th for the Death Guard are strong. So why should I move in when I can just strangle him to death? You know. One Iron Priest is a bit overzealous over here. Getting another turret because I can, upgrading this turret, I think, at some point to a Graf cannon as well. Having now some long fangs at the bottom. Killing this listening post without getting some return fire. Yeah, so he says it's over. I said GG. And he says GG. And yeah, that's the game over here. Play again. I played another game against him. Not sure if I will cast it. It was Death Core of Creek of his side, and I randomed Inari, so maybe you see it next week. GG this, he moves in with one more, hurrah. A lot of cultists getting killed in the production of this video. Herald of Norgal will probably not be making a big of a difference. Having now the cryogun turret also helping out a bit. The range is very low, actually, lower than the range of some cultist shotguns. Yeah, he left the game. Now we wait for the server to actually pick up. Yeah, as usual, guys, if you have some replays you want to share that you think are worthy to cast, please do so. I make a little quality check for them. If there's like the player performance a bit too rough, like units not being moved in the beginning, not building a listening post, stuff like that, I will usually not cast them, but Other than that, I'm open for your input here. But as usual guys, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye!